Good evening, Miss Lawson. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Good. It's good to see you again. I know last session we left off talking about your husband and some of the issues that you guys were experiencing. Um, this session, I just want to know, has anything changed? We'll start out, has anything changed at home? What's going on? Give me a little update.
Well, basically, he's still drinking.
Okay.
Um, he has decreased a little bit, but he still drinks a lot. His
Okay.
decreasing is just basically the same because he feel like if I don't drink 4 liters, if I just drink 5 gallons, if I start off with 5 gallons and now I drink 4 gallons,
Okay.
it's still consuming a lot of alcohol.
Okay.
So it's pretty much kind of the same.
Okay. So I hear you say that nothing has really changed in the house. He's still drinking, still having issues. How's the violence? I know you talked about some domestic violence. How's that aspect going on?
Well, we don't get into as many altercations because when I get home, I just kind of tend to the kids and I just let him be where he is,
Okay.
and which is outside. So we have like a little area, closed off area outside, kind of like a shed, kind of sort of, and he just stays out there majority of the time, and I just let him do what he needs to do. He tries to come, try to run up on me and try to force his way in a room and things like that, and I just threaten him with law enforcement.
Okay. Okay. How do you feel about him being in the home?
Some days it's a good situation, and some days it's bad.
Okay.
I'm ready for him to leave. He has no limit.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the pros and the cons of him leaving. Um, I'm not sure if he wants to leave or if he wants to stay in the home, but let's just kind of talk about the pros and the cons.
Well, at this point, it's really not up to him on if he wants to go or stay.
Okay.
Because I have got to the point where you're not really being productive. You're not really assisting me in the house. Don't get me wrong, he does take the kids to school. Well, who wants to walk to school with their father and he's drunk?
Okay.
And he does pick them up from school, which is something that'll be off my shoulders. I don't have to worry about rushing home from work to, make sure that the kids are there. He doesn't really fix a snack, so I have to make sure that they have extra food there. Like I make them a peanut butter jelly sandwich, and the big one to kind of help the little one in regards to getting them food. So a pro is that I won't have to stress about picking them up, but a con is he's not really being a father figure and making sure that they have everything that they need.
Okay.
So yes, he is helpful, but he can do more.
Okay. So it sounds like he is able to pick them up and get that job done, but he's not fulfilling his role as a father.
Yes.
And that's a big issue for you?
Yes, because basically when I get home from work, I still have to prepare dinner.
Right.
I still have to fix lunches for tomorrow. I still have to go over homework. I still have to do everything basically besides pick them up from school and get them a snack.
Okay.
He's not trying to assist with anything.
Now let me ask you this. If you were in his shoes and you were picking the kids up and you weren't really fulfilling your responsibilities, what do you think would be an alternative or the next move? What do you think would
If I was okay, so what you're saying, if I was in his shoes, in his predicament now, he doesn't have a job, he just sits at home all day, and only my job is to pick up the kids. What is the next alternative?
What do you think you would do?
I think I would try to do better.
Okay.
I'm living somewhere for free. I don't have that much responsibility. I would try to do the best that I can to satisfy my family so that I can continue to stay where I am.
And how could you do better?
I can make lunches for the kids. I can go over homework for the kids. I can, make sure that the kids have a bath. Communicate with my wife. He has no communication skills. He thinks that he's entitled to everything, and that's not the case.
Now, as his wife, how do you think you can help him achieve these things?
I feel like I already do that.
Okay.
You don't have no job.
Okay.
You're not doing anything. I'm not requiring you to do anything. I'm just requiring you to sit at home and pick up the kids. I have asked you before to make lunch. I have asked you before to cook dinner, but when I come home, it's never done. He's never tried to romance me again. It's just the same, basic stuff that happens all the time.
So you don't believe that there's anything that you could do in addition to what you're doing now that will help him
So
get back on track as a father and a husband?
I mean, I encourage him.
Okay.
I feel that communication could be better, but at the end of the day, I guess I should ask you, what do you feel I could do?
Well, let me ask you this: do you feel like communication can get better on both ends, or is it just his end?
I feel like both ends
Okay.
but he has to initiate the communication. I have, when he does communicate with me, I'm always standoffish or I always have an attitude with him because I feel like we have been together for so many years. You should know me by now. You this just didn't happen overnight. We have 3 children together. Something should, ring in your head that at the end of the day, I am going through this struggle, but I have to support my family. I have to support my kids and my wife.
Right.
And he's not that.
And as far as where the relationship is going,
Down the trash.
down the trash. So you feel like the relationship is just not successful? Feel like, is there a way to save it at this point? Because it seems like you're saying that you've done as much as you can, and you made it really easy for him in the home. So is there any way that you could participate and help save it at this point?
I don't think so. I feel like I'm tired.
Tired.
I feel like I can just go I'm at the point where I can just basically ask my mother or my parents to step in to where Richard is because Richard's not doing anything. Or I can ask Richard's parents or Richard's family to come and help me. Richard just wants to sit and do what Richard wants to do. I have brought home applications for Richard. I have did so much for Richard. Make sure that he has clothes. Make sure he has food.
Do you think he's thankful for everything you do for him?
No, because he continues to do the same thing. I guess I am enabling Richard because I do kind of give him money as I get paid. Because, I mean, what man wants to walk around with no money in their pockets? So I do give him money. I don't expect for him to spend the money on alcohol, but that's what he does. And I'm tired of that extra $300 could be going towards something else. So I have got to the point where I feel that that money could be used somewhere else.
So it sounds as if you definitely want him to gain his independence back, and maybe you guys work as a team. Now, looking back in the past, did you feel as if you guys worked as a team with raising the kids in the household?
Definitely.
Okay.
Because I didn't have to pay majority of the bills when Richard was working.
Okay.
I could get off early, pick up the kids because he didn't require me to work as much. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem with working hard because before Richard was a great provider. Mm-hmm. But in a sense, you have to be able to bounce back in these down situations. You can't continue to beat yourself up about something that you're not trying to make happen.
Okay. And do you think that we can maybe bring Richard in and maybe have a joint session with you guys? Maybe to see if you can kind of get on the same page?
I feel that would be up to Richard. If he wants, because at this point I feel that Richard don't want any change. So if Richard is up to the point where he feels as if he's ready for change and that's something that he wants to do, I'm willing to try to assist.
Okay.
But I'm coming to counseling for Richard.
Okay.
I'm not coming to counseling for Tina. I'm coming to work on how to fix Richard.
And that's a great thing that you are like here for him, and even through the bad time, you still want to see him succeed in the household of work. And I think that that's really positive, and that's a good mind frame to have. I think that will only help you guys while you go through your sessions. I really want to meet with both of you guys, kind of give you some tasks to work on over the next few weeks. But I think we had a great session today, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Okay. I'll see you later. Thank you.